Hey there, and thank you for wandering back to the We Miss the Exit show. We're going to do the Japanese Grand Prix preview. The race is over and haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but been too busy to actually do the preview, so I'm going to get it done now. In the race news, the funding issues from 2021 have been moved to Monday, October 10th, and that's when we should know if there's any penalties and what's going to happen on with that. Red Bull has really denied any wrongdoing, but again, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Uh, in other news, we have some seats being filled. Pierre Gasly is leaving AlphaTauri, and he's going to be taking Fernando Alonso's seat at Alpine. I was reading an article about how Gasly had a falling out with Ocon. Really interesting to see if they're able to rekindle that. I'm sure they will. Um, and from there, we'll see what happens. In other news, with Gasly vacating his seat, De Vries is officially signed with AlphaTauri. I think by the time Perez's contract is done, we will see De Vries and Verstappen racing together side by side in Red Bull. That is my prediction in 2022. I'm going to say 2024 that happens. All right, the Japanese Grand Prix Suzuka course. The favorite amongst a lot of racers, especially Sebastian Vettel. And let's find out how he did in qualifying. Qualifying Latifi. Before qualifying, Latifi is getting a five place penalty for crashing into Zhou at the Singapore Grand Prix. Uh, really didn't matter. Wasn't going to matter regardless. He always starts in last. He's just a bad driver, and he's gone at the end of the season. So we'll see what. So again, doesn't really matter. He's going to be last anyway. Just what you expect. The also unsurprising thing is no penalties for Russell, who is constantly running into people. Mr. Consistency, constantly running into people this season. No penalties for him. Q1, the fastest was for Max Verstappen. He was in at 1 minute 30 seconds, .224. Out in Q1 was Albon, Gasly, Magnussen, Stroll, and Latifi. Um, Gasly was out. Sonoda was able to move on in his home race, but the AlphaTauris were having brake issues, which definitely led to, which I believe caused Gasly to miss out on Q2. Again, Sonoda was able to move on. Q2, Perez was the fastest at 1 minute 29 seconds, .925. Out in Q2 were Bottas, Zhou, Mick Schumacher, Sonoda, and Ricciardo. Q3, um, we had there was an incident between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris um, on a outlap, and you can see Max kind of pulling away, getting ready to warm up. Norris falling behind, slowing down, and then all of a sudden he speeds up and just takes off. Max seemed to lose control of his car, kind of swerved over, forcing Norris to go off the track. The incident was looked at later. No penalties for Max, but he was reprimanded. It looked incidental, but it is dangerous. Um, and what was surprising at the end of Q3 is no one really improved on their final time. They set their fastest laps earlier, and that was a little bit surprising. So, your grid for the Japanese Grand Prix, that is not correct. I never went back and changed it. So, let us change this here and put that there and give me 1 minute and not sure why I never changed that. Let's see here. Results, grid. First thing that stuck out to me of it not being right was the fact that Max Verstappen does have pole for the Japanese Grand Prix, um, just ahead of Leclerc. Max is able to win the championship if he wins this race. We'll get to my predictions in a little bit, but uh, made me realize right away, hey, I did not change this from last 2 weeks ago. Yeah, let's see here. Oh no, last week. Too busy. All right. let's see here. F1 show. Yeah, let's see. Go back to this. All right. So the grid, we have Max in first, Leclerc in second. So your top front line there, Max again can win the championship here with win only 1/100th ahead of Leclerc. The Ferraris are fast, right behind the Red Bull. Sainz in third, Perez fourth, Ocon fifth, Hamilton sixth, Alonso seventh, Russell eighth, Vettel ninth. Good to see that in him in Q3. Lando Norris 10th. We have Ricardo 11th, Bottas 12th, Sonoda 13th, Zhou 14th, Schumacher 15th, Albon 16th, Magnussen 17th, Stroll 18th, Latifi 19th, and Gasly ended up having to start from the back due to a penalty. All right. So my predictions for the Japanese Grand Prix, I think Verstappen is going to win the championship today. I have him at number 1. I have Leclerc at number 2. I have Perez number 3 and Sainz 4. I do think Perez is going to get around Sainz. The Red Bull, as fast as it looked, I think after his win last week, I do think Perez is back in fighting shape. I think they're able to hold off Hamilton, who's in 5th. Alonso is going to get hit. Ocon 6th. Ocon's going to be 7th. Russell 8th. Norris 9th. And I think Vettel does end up in points. I'd like to see that. And my grid rivals, I have Leclerc and Verstappen. That's why I do want them up there. I have Hamilton, Ocon, and Zhou, and Alfa Romeo is my team. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to go watch the race now. Thanks for watching the We Missed the Exit Japanese Grand Prix preview.